Bill Lewis Show. An inside look at East Carolina Pirate football is presented by Bob Barber Honda, by Kentucky Fried Chicken, by Morgan Printers, by Pepsi, by Carolina Telephone, by John Deere, by the Hilton Inn, and locally by... And now, here's the voice of the Pirates, Jeff Charles.
Welcome to the premiere of the Bill Lewis Show. We're just a few days away from the opening game, September 9th, as the Pirates will suit up right here at Ficklin Stadium against the Falcons of Bowling Green. And for Coach Lewis, it's really a new beginning in Pirate football. And, Coach, obviously a new look, too, this year for the ECU Pirates.
Well, it's an exciting beginning, Jeff, something that we've dreamed about and waited so long to have happen. We have made a few cosmetic changes in our uniform. I think they're things that our players have enjoyed. I think they're things that our fans will enjoy seeing. I think the important thing, though, that has to be understood about uniforms is that once we kick that ball off on September 9th, what kind of uniform is not important. It's who's inside that uniform that will really make the difference in how we play.
Coach, as we take a look at preseason practice, what has been the most pleasant surprise so far with this football team, and maybe the thing that's the most concern heading into the year?
Well, I think and I wouldn't say the most pleasant surprise, I think the thing that has pleased us most has been the way the players have responded to a very intense approach to practice. We've had a demand for excellence in everything that we've done from the beginning of practice to the end of practice, from the first day right through the final preparation for our ball game, and that has been very pleasing to us. Our biggest concern is a lack of depth on this football team. I'm not so sure, though, that now is not something that coaches all over the country are concerned about as we get into the 95 limitation. It's really, it's hard to find quality depth now on a football team.
I know attitude-wise, when you came in here, that was one of the first things that you tried to change a little bit. Get these guys thinking that they can really win every time they come out on Saturday. Do you think you've made some progress in that area?
I think we definitely have, and I think we're trying to build the foundation or the bottom to our program on some basic concepts. First of all, our team is very important to us. We're doing things with the team in mind. I think the character of young people is very important, putting people on the field that you can count on and know how they're going to respond in difficult situations. And then the game of football is a game that requires intensity, emotion, enthusiasm, and we've tried to instill those things in our players, and we feel like, Jeff, you don't do it overnight. But I think we're starting to move in the right direction, and again, the way the players have responded to that has been very positive.
One thing that's very important is senior leadership. You've got some good seniors, I know, to start building the foundation here.
Well, one of the things we want to do is feature those young people in this program and let our fans get to know who they are. I think in any program, sound, solid senior leadership is needed. We've leaned on our seniors. We've kind of referred to this as being their football team, their last opportunity. And again, we've been pleased with the way they've responded to this point. Now what'll be so critical is how they'll take that the next step and give us the actual on-the-field, in-game leadership.
Let's meet now those 1989 East Carolina Pirates seniors. Defensive tackle number 88, 6'2½", 255 out of Henderson, North Carolina, Mike Applewhite. Wide receiver number 27, 6 feet, 174 from Fayetteville, North Carolina, Bojack Davenport. Offensive tackle number 51, 6'1", 267 from Boonton, New Jersey, Todd Drujak. Place kicker number 6, 5'10", 160 from Thomasville, North Carolina, Jake Fine. Tight end number 94, 6'4", 218 from Clearwater, Florida, Charles Freeman. Tailback number 34, 5'8", 180 Chesapeake, Virginia, Donnell Harper. Defensive tackle number 97, 6'4", 233 from Matteo, North Carolina, Joe Holmes. Quarterback number 5, 5'9½", 185 from Winter Garden, Florida, Travis Hunter. Tailback number 36, 5'7½", 186 from Valdosta, Georgia, Willie Lewis. Quarterback number 10, 6 feet, 197 from Middleburg, Florida, Charlie Libretto. Offensive tackle number 52, 6'5", 270 from Greensboro, Grant Lowe. Inside linebacker number 56, 6'1", 204 from Summerville, South Carolina, Compton McCurry. Defensive end, number 23, 6'2", 203 from Fayetteville, North Carolina, Brian McFadder. Safety, number 21, 5'9", 178 from High Point, North Carolina, Junior Robinson. Offensive guard, number 64, 6 feet, 247 from Milledgeville, Georgia, Stuart Southall. Defensive end, number 42, 6'1", 229 from Wilson, Anthony Thompson. Cornerback, number 30, 5'10", 173 from Rougemont, North Carolina, Ricky Torrain. Snapper, number 55, 5'11", 223 from Greenville, Brian Walsh. Wide receiver, number 80, 5'10", 188 from Baltimore, Walter Wilson. And safety, number 26, 6'2", 195 from Wendell, Tim Walter. Board the pirate ship today and become a member of the Pirate Club, ECU's educational foundation. Funds raised through the Pirate Club go toward athletic scholarships. For you, becoming a member means fun times with ECU fans. Enjoy priority season tickets, special parking, Pirate Club facilities, newsletters, and special meetings with the coaches. Join the Pirate Club today. This message compliments of Mike Bunning, class of '61. Well, assistant coaching staffs of any Division I football program obviously are a big part of what the program is trying to accomplish. And Coach Lewis, I know you're very pleased with the guys you've assembled to go into battle with this year.
Well, we certainly are, Jeff. We're pleased with the group we've assembled, and we're extremely pleased with the way they've gone about the job of working with our football team and preparing them for our opening ball game.
Coach, it really is a young staff.
Well, I think it's a young man's game. I think the game of intercollegiate football with the on-the-field work, the actual game competition, the intense recruiting programs that we get involved with, I think it's a game in which you have to have young people that can work at it.
Coach, let's start with the offensive staff and your offensive coordinator.
Mark Richt will be our offensive coordinator. Mark will coach our quarterbacks on the field, and he's joining our staff from Florida State University.
Mark, slide on in here, and we'd like to ask you a question or two. First of all, you've been blessed by being associated with some outstanding coaches over your career, both as a player and also as a coach. You played for Howard Schnellenberger at Miami, coached with Bobby Bowden at Florida State. What have those guys meant to your career?
Well, they've helped me quite a bit. Another coach you didn't mention was Earl Morrill. He was a quarterback coach at Miami for 4 years, and he was also instrumental in, giving me some of the knowledge, that I've gained throughout the years. But the thing you find about the two programs, the Miami and the Florida State, Coach Schnellenberger was a very professional type, business-like man, and got a lot of things done successfully there. And then you had Coach Bowden, who would be a little bit more personable with the kids and still get a lot of great things done. So there's really two different philosophies on how to handle people, and but both of them were very successful. So I think I learned a few things from them.
Mark, it's good to have you in Greenville.
Thank you.
Coach, your running backs coach.
Our running back coach who will handle our fullbacks and tailbacks, Coach Steve Logan, who's joining us from Mississippi State University.
Steve, of course, this year you've got some veteran guys to work with. I know the guy who's really looked good in preseason is Michael Redd. He seems to have really established himself at that fullback spot.
Michael has done a good job. He's turned out to be our most complete football player in the backfield. I think he can block and catch and run. He really developed his hands really on an individual basis. He came out and made an effort individually to get that done, and he has turned into our most complete football player. That's the way I feel about it right now.
Steve, nice to have you in Greenville.
Thank you.
Coach, let's move right along to your offensive line coach, and this guy doesn't really need a whole lot of introduction to Pirate fans.
Right, I think he's someone who they all know and has done an outstanding job with our offensive line, Steve Shankweiler.
Steve, of course, you've been here on the scene at East Carolina University. I guess you would be the guy to ask this question. How has practice differed from past years to this year with the new staff and the new things that have been put in?
Well, I think, Jeff, I've been fortunate to work for, two head coaches that are just outstanding people. And like Mark mentioned, there are lots of different ways to get things done. The thing that I like about what we're doing, and I think our players have really responded well, is the consistent demand for excellence throughout the course of the day. You know, it's not peaks and valleys. It's from period 1 to period 22. We're going to do things the right way, and I think that's what it takes to win at this level.
Coach, I know you want to obviously go out here and have a good year this year, and the offensive line looks like a strength of this football team.
Well, they're a great bunch of kids, and I think I'm fortunate in that, you know, I feel like I get to coach the best position in football, because they're kids that, you know, that play the game hard and never get a chance to touch the football or don't get their names in the papers and that kind of thing. And I am fortunate, and we're fortunate that we have a group of seniors that have been through the war before, and we're counting on them for some great leadership.
Okay, Steve, have a good year. Coach, as we move along to the receivers, obviously you're going to throw the ball a lot, and this guy is going to play a key role in how he coaches the receivers on this year's football team.
He certainly will, and that'll be Coach Dale Steele, and he'll handle our split ends as well as our flankers.
Dale, you'll have some veteran guys to work with this year. Bojack Davenport, Al Whiting, of course, Walter Wilson, the leading pass catcher from last year. A good group.
It is a good group. They're a hard-working group, and they're working to improve with each and every practice and each and every day. They're a real good group to work with.
Okay, Dale, nice to have you with ECU. And, Coach, that's the offensive staff. And Jeff Jagodzinski as well, our tight end coach, is coming up here. And the tight end is going to be emphasized in this offense, isn't it?
He certainly is. And Jeff Jagodzinski, or as we call him, Coach Jags, will be joining us from LSU, where they really utilize the tight end in their offense. And we intend to do the same thing here.
Jeff, the tight end has not been utilized a whole lot in past years. How significant will the tight end be, do you think, in this offense?
Well, I think it's real significant. As a matter of fact, we're running the I formation here, and we do a lot off of that. We run the toss sweep off of that, and we'll throw to the tight end also. So I think it'll play a vital role in our offense.
Okay, thanks a lot, Jeff. Now to the defensive side of the football, Coach, and Chuck Pagano is a young member of your staff who is going to coach the secondary.
Chuck will be coaching our 4-deep secondary and will be joining us from Boise State University.
Chuck, let's talk a little bit about when you came to East Carolina. You were approached, of course, by Coach Lewis to come to this staff and come to ECU. You were from the West. What made you decide to continue your career here at ECU?
Well, I had, back in 1979, Coach Lewis was my head coach in college at the University of Wyoming, and my position coach was our defensive coordinator, Tom McMahon, so there were some ties there, and over the past years, we've kept in touch, and I just feel real fortunate to be here to have this opportunity.
Okay, Chuck, thanks. So we continue to move along to Tim Kelly, and for Tim, it's really kind of a homecoming coming to this part of the state.
Well, Tim's been first of all, he's born and raised here, and spent a good part of his coaching career coaching in the high school ranks in North Carolina. We were together at the University of Georgia. He spent last year at Austin Peay University, and he'll coach our down defensive linemen.
Tim, that's the question I wanted to ask you. What does it feel like? You played high school football at New Bern, and I guess you were born in Jacksonville. How does it feel coming to Eastern North Carolina now as a college football coach?
Well, it certainly is good to be back home and know a lot of people, and it's good to have a great relationship with the high school coaches here in this part of the state, and certainly has helped us as far as recruiting. And it's just great to be back home and, of course, be on the staff with Coach Lewis.
Okay, Tim, thanks a lot. Have a good year. And the defensive coordinator up from South Carolina.
Well, as Chuck mentioned, Tom and I were together at the University of Wyoming, and then the last several years did battle while he was at South Carolina and I was at Georgia. He'll be our defensive coordinator, and he'll coach our defensive ends.
Tom, let's talk a little bit about the defense. Certainly a new look for East Carolina defensively. And how would you describe what the fans are going to see on September 9th defensively?
Well, I hope the fans will be excited. We're going to play an excited brand of defense. We're going to force the issue quite a bit. We've got players that I feel can run. We're excited about their attitude, about the defensive scheme. They've taken to it fairly well. It's a type of scheme that's a big play defense for each one of the individual players. We're going to utilize their strengths. They run real well, and so we're going to try to run them to the ball, and we're going to come after them and have an exciting defense.
Sounds exciting, Tom. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Ron Cooper couldn't be with us today, Coach. He's also one of your defensive coaches. He had sickness in the family.
Right. Ron will be coaching our inside linebackers. He came to us from Murray State University, and Ron's dad had open heart surgery here recently, and we felt it was extremely important that he have an opportunity to spend some time at home with his father.
So that's the coaching staff at ECU for this year. Brian Bailey will be back, and he'll be visiting with 5 of the key Pirate players after we pause for this timeout.
And welcome back to the Bill Lewis Show. Each and every week we'll come to you from the locker room with the players' aspects of that particular game. This is our preview premiere show, and of course Travis Hunt will be running the show this year for East Carolina. Travis, how has it been thus far this summer in practice?
Well, this summer everything's been going along pretty good. Team we've come out, we worked hard during the summer, and I think that it carried over into the summer camp.
What about your role in this team as far as a leader is concerned, a senior quarterback? Doesn't seem like just yesterday that you were a redshirt freshman running around. Now you're the leader out there.
Yes, it seems like yesterday that I was just a redshirt freshman, but this year I think that I'm surrounded by a lot of talent, and people here that we've played together for a while, and I think that everything should fall in place.
Talking with Travis about leadership and being a senior on this ball club, you too are a senior. This time, a much different attack for you from the I formation. What are you looking forward to, Willie Lewis?
Yes, this year with the I formation is a very different offense with the run and shoot. With the tailback, we should carry the ball between 20 and 30 times a game. That's what Danielle Harper now should split time, so it should be a pretty good offense.
How about the guys up front, the offensive line? This is a very experienced group, isn't it?
Yes, that's the bright point of the whole offense, I think, because the offensive line really looks good this year. With Grant Lowe and Drugiak and Stuart Southall, those guys really improved, so the offensive line is going to be good.
Since me and Todd and Stuart are seniors, we're expected to lead the team, and we've been there, we've been through the battles, and I think we should be able to carry this team to victory.
Defensively this fall, the defensive line will be anchored by Mike Applewhite. And Mike, this has been a real good summer for you. You've lost some weight earlier in the summer, and thus far you've been a very dominant force on this defense.
Yes, I lost, about 10, 15 pounds, and I came back in very good shape. And just like the rest of the guys, defensive line, everybody came back in ready to go and passed the conditioning test, and looking forward to Bowling Green.
What's the difference this year defensively as far as the outlook on defense, the attitude, that kind of thing?
Well, definitely we're attacking more. We're bringing it to them. Not saying that in the past we sat back, but last year was sort of like a read and react. This year we're attacking them. We're making, trying to penetrate in that backfield and make some things happen back there.
With this new philosophy, attacking on defense, how does that affect you guys in the secondary? Is it easier for you with a quarterback that has a lot of pressure on him?
Well, people are going to think that it's kind of hard because we're going to be playing a lot of man. But by, D-line and linebackers giving all that pressure to the quarterback, going to allow us to free up and play some ball and, attack the receivers quickly, having them to sit back and the quarterback have time to get them. So we'll be able to adjust more and, get to the ball a little quicker now because the quarterback have to get it off, soon.
Our scouting report is going to be a regular feature of the Bill Lewis Show. The Bowling Green Falcons will provide the opposition for the opening game on September 9th. This will be the third meeting between East Carolina and Bowling Green. The series is all even up at a game apiece. And, Coach, even though Bowling Green was 2-8-1 last season, they had a young team. A lot of these kids now are experienced. And I believe Mo Ankney is feeling that he's got a better football team this year.
Well, I think that's what they've pointed toward is this year when Coach Ankney went in. Obviously, it takes a couple years to establish his program. And he feels very confident that they now have the players in their program that they feel they can be successful with. He did a very intelligent thing last year, although they kind of suffered in the one-loss column. But he played a tremendous amount of young people. They basically have starters returning at every position, and they feel like this is the year that they're ready to now start to make their mark and start to win big in their conference and with their inter-sectional play.
When you talk about Bowling Green this year, you talk about their outstanding passing game and really some outstanding wide receivers.
Well, what you have is basically air ball. They believe that that's what they're going to do with the football. They've got an outstanding quarterback returning after coming off of a broken hand, a young fellow that's thrown for over 4,000 yards in his career, two outstanding receivers in Thornton and Hurd, two guys that might be as good as we'll see here in Ficklin Stadium all year. They also have a tight end, and we utilize the tight end much as we're trying to do as a pass receiver.
Well, this year as Coach Lewis went around to the various pirate clubs and all the civic groups, one point he tried to hammer home was just what a difference the fans can mean to ECU football and to filling Ficklin Stadium here. And that obviously is what we're trying to do this year, is fill Ficklin Stadium, especially for the first game on September 9th. And, Coach, I think everybody watching the show today, they need to realize just how important they are to this program and what a difference they can make come Saturday night.
I think there's two key points that need to be mentioned. Number one is what it means to the players. Many times when they're being pushed by coaches and working hard in that hot August sun, they say, why am I doing this? September 9th, when we come out on the field, if this place is full, their questions will be answered. They'll say, we've been doing it because what we're doing is important. It's important to 35,000 people. They've taken time to come see us play. The second thing is that our fans can make a difference, because in every athletic contest, there are a series of momentum shifts. And we've got to have our fans ready when we have the momentum to take advantage of it and get behind us. And then if the momentum shifts to our opponents, have an opportunity to get on their feet and help the team as we struggle to get that momentum shift back in our favor.
Coach, thanks for the visit, and good luck against Bowling Green in the opener.
Thanks so much, Jeff.
That's our show for this week, and as we go out this week, we have a special music video dedicated to the 1989 East Carolina Pirates. Have a good week, everybody, and we'll see you at the stadium September 9th at 7 o'clock.
The Bill Lewis Show, an inside look at East Carolina Pirate football, has been presented by John Deere, by Kentucky Fried Chicken, by Bob Barber Honda, by Carolina Telephone, by Pepsi, by Morgan Printers, by the Hilton Inn, and locally by